Best 10 Korean Gangster Movies. Part 1. Movie, New World. Year, 2013. Directed by Park Hoon-young. Gold Moon, the biggest crime organization in Korea, is suddenly in chaos when its leader Chairman Suk is killed in a mysterious car accident. Top-level police officials initiate Project New World to intervene in Goldman's election process for the next leader, and to use Chairman Suk's death to their advantage in controlling the crime organization. The project leader Detective Kong calls upon Gold Moon executive Ja Sung, an undercover cop who he planted deep within the organization 8 years ago. But Ja Sung, who had been waiting long for the day he is reinstated into the police, is conflicted by Detective Kang's contradictory mission. Movie, Wei, A Monster Boy. Year, 2013. Directed by Jang Joon-hwan. Wei is a boy living in a farm village, who was raised by 5 fathers who are famous criminals. One day, the group is commissioned to kill a man named Lim and his wife. While the rest of the group feel something odd about this particular contract, Suk-tae is adamant to carry out this job with Wei in tow. During the job, Wei discovers a photograph of a child in Lim's house. Eventually, Suk-tae hands his gun to Wei and he is forced to pull the trigger. He becomes ill after committing his first kill, and realizes that the boy in the photograph looks uncannily familiar. Movie, The Yellow Sea. Year, 2010. Directed by Na Hong-jin. Gu-nam is a cab driver in Yeonji City. He leads a pitiful life. His wife went to Korea to earn some money 6 months ago, but he hasn't heard from her since. He plays mahjong to make some extra cash, but his life only becomes more complicated and pathetic. One day he meets a hitman named Myung-jae and receives a proposal to turn his life around by repaying his debt, and reuniting with his wife. All for a price of 1 hit. Gu-nam crosses the Yellow Sea and arrives in Seoul. He prepares for his deed and looks out for his wife. However, just before he gets to make his move, his target is murdered right in front of him and he is framed for the killing. Although Gu-nam manages to flee the scene, the police are on his trail. Not only that, the person who ordered the hit is attempting to wipe out all evidence of the crime by eliminating Gu-nam as well as Myung-jae in Yeonji City. Now Gu-nam is on the run for the murder he did not commit and chased by those responsible for this mess. Movie, A Dirty Carnival. Year, 2006. Directed by Yoo Ha. Byung-do, the number 2 man in a small-time organized crime gang, leads an aimless and wild life. Life is hard for him since he is the sole support of his mother and 2 younger siblings. However, when Mr. Hwang asks him to embark on a secret mission, Byung-do realizes that this is one chance he should not let pass by. The mission is dangerous, but success would mean that Byung-do would no longer have to worry about supporting his family. Movie, The Roundup. Year, 2022. Directed by Lee Sang-yong. The beast cop Ma Suk-do heads to a foreign country to extradite a suspect, but soon after his arrival, he discovers additional murder cases and hears about a vicious killer who has been committing crimes against tourists for several years. To catch an unprecedented criminal, Detective Ma and his team must go the extra mile. Movie, A Bittersweet Life. Year, 2005. Directed by Kim Ji-woon. Sun-woo is a decisive, cold, capable hotel manager. He is the right-hand man to Boss Kong in a world where there are only commands and obedience. Suspicious that his girlfriend, Hee-soo, has another man, Boss Kong orders Sun-woo to investigate and, if it's true, deal with it. After 3 days, Sun-woo catches Hee-soo with another man and attacks them. But for reasons he can't understand, he lets them go. Before he can figure out why, he is brutally attacked by the gang and nearly killed. Now Sun Wu finds himself in a war. His momentary compassion for He Su is no longer what is driving him. Step by step he gets closer to Boss Kong. Movie, Nameless Gangster. Year, 2012. Directed by Yoon Jong-bin. Ik Hyen, who is involved in drug dealing as he carries out his duties as a customs officer, meets a mob boss, Hyan Bae, and learns that they are distantly related. Together they expand the mob business, doing each other's favors, but when the government declares a war on crime, the two partners get entangled in a web of conspiracy and betrayal. Movie, The Man from Nowhere. Year, 2010. Directed by Lee Yong-byum. Tae-sik is a widower with a mysterious past. When a young girl he befriends is kidnapped by a vicious drug gang, Tae-sik rushes to save her. Hell-bent on justice after being framed by the nasty criminals, he takes the law into his own hand. Movie, The Gangster, The Cop, The Devil. Year, 2019. Directed by Lee Won-tae. After barely surviving a violent attack by an elusive serial killer, crime boss Jang Dong-soo finds himself forming an unlikely partnership with local detective Young Tae-suk to catch the sadistic killer simply known as K. Movie, The Outlaws. Year, 2017. Directed by Kang Yoon-sung. 2004, Seoul. Coming from Harbin, China, Jang Chen is a new breed of gangster who single-handedly takes over a mob and becomes the most feared gangster in the city. He and his merciless gang are willing to do anything it takes for money. Ruthless detective Ma Suk-do wields his powerful fists to maintain peace in his city. When Ma notices Jang falls his district into chaos, Ma and his ragtag group of detectives form a plan to get rid of Jang and his men for good.